Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Mawahib. So in today's video, I really want to test out Livemoor's wicks. If you still remember, a few months back I did a collaboration with Livemoor, and one of the products that I really wanted to try out from them is their wicks. I'm just so grateful that I've come around today and just put up a video for you guys to just give you an idea of how Livemoor's wicks work, and also just to give you my honest opinion if I like them, if I don't, if these are wicks that I would buy again. Just to give you a heads up, you guys, I am going to be burn testing the candles with you in today's video, and I'm also going to be making the candles with you. So just make sure you grab some snacks, grab something to drink just to occupy you while you're watching me, so you don't get bored halfway through or something. Let's move over to the kitchen and make some candles. So I'm gonna go ahead and start measuring my wax. The wax that I'm using here is Kera soy, and literally I think this wax is by far my favorite soy wax. I just haven't found my favorite coconut wax yet. The sizes of the containers that I have over there is the 20 centiliter candle containers, and they're literally my favorite size to work with. I'm going to be measuring 417 grams of wax for my 3 candle containers, and one container holds 150 grams of wax. I am using 8% of fragrance oil, and my favorite fragrance literally supplier is Cosy Owl. If I was to recommend one fragrance supplier for you, it would be Cosy Owl. And as you saw, the fragrance I'm using is cedarwood and jasmine. And sometimes I go over and under my measurements, so I just use a pipette. I don't know if I'm even saying that correctly, but to basically measure out the correct measurements for my fragrance. At this point, my wax has completely melted, and I'm going to go ahead and wait for it to cool down to 55 degrees, and then go ahead and add my fragrance oil and give that a mix for 2 minutes. I literally filmed these clips 3 months ago, and I'm so glad that I've just literally made the time to put this video together. It's just making me so happy. And what have you guys been up to? How is work going? How is your candle business going? College, uni, whatever you guys are doing right now, keep me updated. Let me know what you guys are doing down below. I'd love to know. After I stop mixing, I like to know at what temperature my wax is before I pour it into my candle containers. And as you guys saw just right now, I was on 52 degrees as I poured it into my candle containers. So literally, again, my favorite part of me making candles is me watching myself pour these candles. I'm just going to put some music here and just enjoy myself. Okay, you guys, I've got my timer on for 1 hour for the first hour burn, and this is how the candles are looking so far. Okay, so this is the first hour burn for you. On the first candle right here, I'm getting a very big mushrooming. The flame height is not too bad, it's actually pretty good. I am getting flickering or dancing here and there. The candle's burning pretty slowly actually, and I think that the wick is working fine, but it's just the mushrooming that's really big. Moving on to the second candle, and the wick size are right here, by the way, if you guys need to take some notes. But my flame height is really good. I'm getting very bad mushrooming though, and the wick is bending into the melt pool or towards the melt pool, and I don't like when the wick bends towards the melt pool. I just don't like it. I don't think it's a good wick, but other than that, it's good. And then moving on to the third candle, and it's burning a lot slower than these 2 candles, but I am getting mushrooming as well, very small mushrooming, flickering as you guys saw right now, and the wick is also bending towards the melt pool, which I don't like. I'm not getting a hot throw whatsoever. I can only smell it when I'm hovering over it, but it's definitely not filling up the room. I am burning the candles in the living room, and the living room is a very big space, but I'm not smelling the candle that well. I can only smell it when I'm next to it, not when I walk into the room. But yeah, that's about it for now, and I'll come back to check in with you guys for hour number 2. Here is the second hour burn first candle right here is still mushrooming, but looking at the 3 candles from this angle, the flame heights are actually pretty good. As you guys can see, this one is flickering quite a bit, while these 2 are pretty steady. These 2 candles do dance and flicker here and there. The melt pools are actually looking good for these 2 candles. I think this candle is just burning a little slow, but that's okay. The hot throw is pretty weak. I mean, I can smell something. If I was to rate it out of 10, I would say the hot throw is about a 2 out of 10. It's not a smell that I would like in my candles. It's not filling up the room at all, but I'm really focusing on the wicks right here because I want to give you guys an idea of how Livemoor's wicks are working with me. But here's the last look, and then I'll check with you guys again at hour number 3. Here is the 3rd hour burn for you guys. So the flame heights, I don't know if it's only me, but it's kind of gotten a bit higher than the previous hour. And again, I think I'm still getting the dancing and the flickering and all the wicks. The melt pool is not too bad, to be honest. Let me know if you agree with me down below. But the hot throw is still steady, you guys. I don't have much of a hot throw. It's about a 2 out of 10 still. I can only smell it when I'm over the candles, like I mentioned in the 1st hour burn, and it's still the same. I think the 4th hour burn will be just exactly the same results as a 3rd hour burn. Here's a last look before I see you guys again on the 4th hour burn. And finally, for the last hour burn results, I'm getting a lot more flickering and dancing over here. The flame height on that candle tends to go really high when it flickers, and the middle one seems steady for now, but it does flicker here and there. The melt pools are really good. They're not too deep, honestly. Any wax residue that stays around the container will burn off as the candle starts getting hotter and hotter, so I don't worry too much. It's not like the wax is very thick on the sides. It's pretty thin actually, but they're burning pretty nice and slow. And in terms of the hot throw, we're still very low on hot throw. Let me know you guys' opinions down below in the comments about these 3 candles with what you've seen in the past 4 hours. But that is about it from me. Okay, so I hope you have a little bit of an idea of how the wicks were working with my fragrance oil and my wax. Just to remind you, the wax that I was working with is Cosy, and the fragrance that I was working with, cedarwood and jasmine from Cozy Owl. Cold throw of these candles are literally a 10 out of 10. I love how they smell. They smell so strong. You can literally smell them as you walk into the room. It's just unfortunate that the hot throw wasn't as strong as my cold throw. Just want to jump on here and just give you guys a bit of my opinion on the wicks. Would I buy these wicks again? I think I wouldn't buy Livemoor's wicks again, if I'm being completely honest. It's not because I've had a bad experience, it's just they didn't work for me. I think the fact that I had a bit of mushrooming, that's completely normal. You get that with almost every wick series that you buy. The only thing with mushrooming is I don't like my mushrooming to be too big on my wick. As soon as I see my mushrooming too big on my wick, I know that that wick is just not okay for my candle. I do welcome mushrooming when it's really tiny, when you can barely see it, and especially sometimes mushrooming does build up when obviously your customer or your client may be burning the candle for more than 4 hours. It's completely normal for the wick to develop some sort of mushrooming. It can be from the fragrance, from the flame, from the wax, but as long as my mushrooming is not big and huge and visible, then I'm fine with mushrooming, to be quite honest, because it can happen. I really didn't like the fact that also my wick was bending so much into my melt pool. On the website it does say that the wick does have a self-trimming effect, which is why it bends into the melt pool, but personally I just don't like when my wick bends into the melt pool. That's just my personal opinion. It's not wrong and it's not right, it's just my opinion. If you guys see on the screen right now, there are various type of wick sizes, of course. I just want to give you guys a heads up so you don't do the same mistakes as I did. So if you can see the LMTL 15x10, the LMTL 15x20, and the 15x60. So the first 3 sizes of wicks, these are for tea light candles. So if you're testing tea light candles, pick these up. If you're not testing them, then these are not for you. Moving on, the LM 10x10 and the 10x20 and the 10x60, these wicks are really tiny. I'm going to show you an example. They're not so tiny, but they're that tiny. These are the 10x10 LM wicks. So I wouldn't really recommend using them, not even for your 9 centiliter. I did try them with my 9 centiliter, you guys. It's literally the whole size basically. You can't trim the wick. They're definitely not appropriate enough for your 9 centiliter candle containers, so don't pick these up. I know I keep looking down, it's just because I'm looking at the website at the same same time. But the LM18 times 10 are literally the appropriate sized wicks for your candles. That is 9 centiliter, 20 centiliter and 30 centiliter, or however big your candle jars are. These are the good sizes that you need to pick up. I would say personally, if I was completely brand new to the website or brand new to candle making and I was looking at these wicks, I would find the sizing a little bit confusing. So in a sense of, am I picking up 10 wicks of LM18 or is LM times 10 or LMX10 the size of the wick and the width of the wick? Do you see where I'm coming from? Or maybe it's just me. One feedback I would give for Livemoor is definitely have a little bit more clarity on the sizing of the wicks, and also a little bit more control on the amount of wicks that we would like to buy. If LM times 60 literally means 60 wicks of LM10, I'm not looking for 60 wicks for LM10. I would like a little bit more control of how many wicks I would like to pick up, whether that would be 6 or 10 or 15 or 20, but definitely not 60 wicks of LM10. I don't want to start off with such a huge amount, especially when I'm first starting out. Personally, I don't like buying bulks of everything. I just like to start off with small numbers, see if I like it, and if I do, I'll repurchase more. But like, for example, my LM22 times 10, literally you guys, there's so much in the bag, and I'm not going to be using all of them, especially if I'm not going to rebuy the wicks or I'm not really happy with the wick performance, for example. That would be another advice that I would give for Livemoor, and something that you guys should also kind of be aware of when you're shopping. I feel like there's no control as to how many wicks I would like to pick up. They do have information about the wicks on the website. Anything that you buy from any candle supplier, always read the instruction before you buy anything. I think I didn't read the instructions well enough. I was just too excited for my collaboration that I just started choosing whatever I wanted to try out. That is a good way of also giving you guys a heads up of the sizes and what to get and what not to get, basically. Other than that, you guys, I don't have anything bad to say about Livemoor's wicks. They just personally did not work for me, and because they didn't work for me, I do have a huge amount of wicks here. I'm going to list all the wick sizes that I have in the description down below, and if any of you are interested to try them out, please do DM me on Instagram, Mawahib Ghazal. I'm going to pop my handle name somewhere here, and I'm also going to pop it down below, and I'm more than happy to send over the wicks to you guys so you can try them out yourself, and also give me your opinion to the wicks as well. I really like Livemoor's website. I really enjoy shopping with Livemoor. They have a range of products. It's literally such an art and craft website. I just love it. It's just so fun to just browse, and they also have tons of information on the website. So if you're ever confused about anything, or if you ever need a little bit more information about a product, do you reach out to the customer service support. They do help out massively. I did get confused with the sizing of the wicks as well, so I literally reached out to the customer service support, and just to get a little bit more clarity on the wick sizes and just to understand them a little bit more, because I was a bit confused at first. With that being said, I do have a discount code that is still valid for Mawahib 10, so if you're interested in picking up anything from Livemoor, it doesn't have to be the wicks, then please do use my discount code Mawahib 10 to get 10% off of your purchase. Also, the links that are going to be below are affiliate links, so that means I will just get a small percentage off of every sale I drive through the links. I thought I'd make that clear in this part of the video. Do not base your decisions off of my testing. I do recommend that you pick up the wicks and you try them out for yourself. You never know, maybe these wicks will work with your fragrance oils and your waxes. It just did not work for me, and that's absolutely fine. And yeah, I think that is everything for today's video. I do apologize if I rambled too much. I have not filmed in a very long time, and I feel like I've got so much to tell you about candles and about my experiences and just like me testing candles. I'm gonna close out today's video and say please make sure that you click on that subscribe button down below and give this video a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below on what videos you'd like to see from me in the future, and of course don't forget to turn your post notifications on so you guys can get notified every time I post a new video. I appreciate you staying up until the end. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.